training on Wednesdays is going to be invaluable.
Yeah.
Well, I think that sounds like a sensible
I'm going to accept that,
proposal.
but I think,
Yeah,
respond after the training, but we've got to respond.
Yes.
We can't delay a decision whether we
Yeah.
respond or not.
Yeah. Okay, have we got a second for Councillor Balfour's proposal?
So can we just clarify what
Yes.
the proposal was?
Well, in light of what you're saying, what I'm really wanting to propose is to say that in the light of the training that's coming up and the information that we have in front of us now, I find it hard to take a decision on the course of action. Because if I'm going to take a decision on the course of action, I like to see a proposal to know what I'm deciding on. So I propose that I'd like to propose that 10.1 is the decision on the course of action is that the clerk will attend the Freedom of Information training and will report and will take actions as a result of that and will report back following that. That's
can I
my
give a
proposal.
point of order, please? Because, as Andy said, that is not something we have the authority to decide not to do, the freedom of information. So that makes it, and I apologise for this term, it is the term, that makes it ultra virus. That means that we're not able to, Councillor Balfour's motion is not one we can decide on. What we could do is make a motion. We could decide that we were going to follow the Freedom of Information Act and respond to queries that as we need to, but we can't say. We can't say we're not going to do this. No. As Councillor Sherrod said.
I don't think anybody's suggesting that. I think what we're trying to do is to find a way through to respond to the freedom of information requests in a timely manner, which we have to do legally. But I think we need the new clerk needs a little more time and training to find a way through.
I'm not necessarily saying this is a specific proposal, but I'm not Sarah's comment that we allow till after the training before replying to make sure that John has done the training to know how best to reply.
So they're not. I understand. I just want to say they're not new. We're already outside the process. I'm already in contact with the ITO around being outside the process. My priority is to clear them. So if it was a new one, I would understand Councillor Marshall's viewpoint, that we wouldn't be able to.
It's not a viewpoint. Sorry, it's not a viewpoint. What I'm saying is that as we are obligated, now I'm not saying we can do it, but we are obligated under the Freedom of Information Act, and I think this was what Andy was getting at. We are obligated. We can't then say, we all agree not to do anything about it. That's asking us to make a decision on something, on a law that we do not have the power to. Anyway, I won't say any more on that,
what we could do is just defer this to the next council meeting so that you will then have done the training. So I think that's probably the best way. So we can defer this item 10.1 to the October.
Is that no?
I think that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, we defer that to the October meeting. And then by that time we'll have clearer.
Well, I think you'll find the answer.
Well, I'll propose that. Have we got a second for that?
No,
second request.
that's the point. You can't propose an I'm sorry, Chair. Really, I don't want to say anymore.
Chair, there's more than one question on here. The motion from Councillor Marshall was to defer. You're in agreement to defer till October.
No motion. If you leave it on the table, we don't do a motion, but you are having the training, so I think you'll find that we just have to respond to them. You'll know after Thursday.
So what's the action, Chair?
Leave it on the
Put it
table.
on the agenda for October.
We put it on the agenda for October.
But is that what you're...
That's got a proposal and a second.
No, you don't need one, just leave it on the...
I'm sorry, Chair. Is this to leave this item on to the October? Which
my proposal is we take item 10.1, we defer it to October's Parish Council meeting, at which time we'll be in a clearer position. So that's a proposer, seconder. Can I have hands up for all those in favour?
So can I just make a point on Chair before we vote? That's not to say that no action is taken
No.
on the FOIs that are already on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's ongoing. That's
Yeah.
ongoing. That's not
Yeah.
the agenda item.
Sorry, well, what action is being taken with regard to those that have been resubmitted? They're being answered after Wednesday. Is that right?
That's what I'm requesting as part of this, but obviously the conversation has moved around.
Yes. Well,
But that's what I was saying.
I don't know that we can vote to do that.
So the ongoing work is got to be done. The issues have got to be done.
Yeah.
We said I'm proposing with this item, decided cost actions resubmit and freedom of information. We put on the October one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this 10.1 appears on the October agenda. I have the training this week, and what I can answer from the training, I answer and I draw that number down from 6 downwards
That's
to
it.
0.
Yeah.
So everybody
Are we
clear
all in
about
favour
Is
of
everybody
that?
clear about that?
Well, it depends what motion. Are you putting a motion to this meeting? Because then we'll vote
Just-
on that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm not quite clear
I'm
whether.
really confused
I think
about
the wording of the motion seems like there isn't going to be a response to his freedom of information request until after we agree it.
Right.
And so therefore that doesn't sound clear.
acceptable.
I think the clerk is having training next
Yeah.
week, and after the training will allow her to begin answering these old freedom of information requests, which are already way out of the 20 days due to all the staffing issues that there have been. So then she will be able to, once she's had the training, to start working on them, and then we can have a report back at the October meeting.
About what has been dealt with.
Oh, maybe we could just propose that Gemma, I'm sorry, this idea just came into my head, but maybe it's a solution. Maybe we could just, the way to proceed is to ask Gemma to make a report on outstanding freedom of information requests at the October meeting. That way, we probably have cleared them anyway.
Chair, all I would like to do is be able to action these requests. So once I've had the training this week, if I can action them and give a report, that's all I would like to do.
Yeah.
What, that she can action them?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'll propose that.
That's all I'm asking for,
Yeah.
is that there's 6 outstanding,
Do you want?
and I would like to action
Well,
them.
can I propose then that after the training on Wednesday, Gemma is able to
Yeah.
action
Yes.
To make a report.
and then to report back.
So we don't really need to vote on that, do we?
No, to report back in October on what's happened.
Is that all agreed?
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Okay.
So 10 to review council complaints procedure with recommendations from the chair and clerk in line with meeting minute 30 Parish Council meeting,
Oh, sorry.
meeting. That's 10 to. A copy of current complaints procedure is available on our website. A copy not included to reduce paper printing. Recommendations to be presented by the clerks.
This is the complaints procedure, so I didn't print it out a blank one because that's available online. However, this actually is with my recommendations.
Oh, I'd like time to read these. So, we shouldn't really be.
Thank you.
We shouldn't really be. Chair, sorry. We shouldn't really be having new complaints procedure and agreeing it. So can I recommend we take this away and look at it? And especially as at the moment, I know that, what time to step into a job. Gemma's already got some outstanding complaints. And, I don't want to be confronted with this without being able to think about it. I don't think we can vote on that tonight.
Councillor Ball.
Yeah, I think this is on the agenda because, as it pointed out and as Gemma points out in her notes, it was a proposal from the May Parish Council meeting and it was brought to the meeting this evening. But so perhaps we should if Councillor Marshall's proposing to defer
Yeah,
it.
but it's the next.
Well, I'll propose it or someone else can, yeah. I don't-
Are we all in agreement with that?
Yeah.
Vote to
Yeah.
adopt them next
Are we all in
time.
agreement? Yeah.
All in favour, yeah?
Okay. 10 to receive and sign for good councillors' guides, training materials to support councillors within their role to the council.
So it's nearly then with my
Oh, thank you, Jan.
Is it back?
Thank you,
Really?
really.
So, Chair, you're okay for me to speak because it keeps
Yeah, yeah.
coming back. We've stated a million times this evening that there's a few of us that are new to the role. The best way to become, experienced is with training. So I have gone out now, and these are the latest copies of the Good Councillor Guides. We've got the Good Councillor Guide that everyone will receive, Finance and Transparency, which I've printed off copies for F&GP, but it will be available online in PDF. And if you want me to print you a copy, I will print you a copy.
Yes, please.
I just didn't want to kill the trees.
Yeah, I understand, yes,
Good
please.
Councillor's Guide to Employment, so again, personnel, I've printed you
Yes,
copies. And neighbourhood planning, I've printed copies for that committee. And like I say, I have a lucky dig bag. So, with all the right ones in for the right people. We'll just give those out. So that's yours, Stephen. Should you pass that round to Gwen? Is that okay?
Can I request copies of them all?
Yep, that's fine.
Please, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Jane.
And start Christmas early now. That's yours, John. No, I promise not. I do just want you to sign so you've had this training, because training is so important. So this is fastest when you find your name and you sign for it, the one that we've got in your pack. And Councillor Marshall, I'll know that you want copies of, in fact you can have these because these are mine, so what were the other ones that you wanted? Was it just signs that wanted
copies
some
of
this
them all,
evening?
if that's all right.
So you've got the Good Councillor's Guide.
I've got Good Councillor's Guide. Yeah.
So if you could just tick your boxes when that sign sheet comes around to you.
Thank you very
You've got a
much.
copy of all. And like I say, I will send them out on a PDF on the weekly roundup that goes on Friday. I don't have any more use for you. Not tonight.
I'm just going to say thank you, Gemma, that's great.
So I might as well do that now because it's feeling like one. So
Oh, sorry, this is the last one. So you sign.
it's just going around.
Right, thank you.
Anything else you want to say?
No, that's just for you guys, just an aid.
So item 11, we'll move on all this, that's been Australia. Receive information and decide if it's electronic. On whole, council training to be held at Bell Lane Community Centre for attendance by all councillors. We've got the notes in front of you on the agenda, item 11. As it said on the notes, the on-site whole council training will include the code of conduct training,
We can settle it.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's some in this year and into the new year, and they do days or evenings. So this is just purely about us signing up to it if we want to do that.
so that's just a good note to keep. Yeah.
But it's if we want to go ahead with council, I can organise some council training.
I mean, do we need to take a...
Can I ask a question on it? So this comes for 12 of us. Would it be with the staff as well to have that, officers as well to have that training? How many people would have it ideally if they could all get there?
Thank you. It's for the council to decide, so there would be 2 staff members if we were to be included, 12 councillors.
Yeah, so it's what, 37?
It's...
32 pounds.
Yeah.
the-
So for council alone it's £384 and then you add
Yeah.
on.
yeah.
Can I ask how much of the annual training budget that is before we even discuss it? How much is the annual training budget?
I don't have that information to hand. I can find it.
Well, maybe the Finance and General Purposes Chair knows.
It's been drawn down, so to have an actual live amount right now, I wouldn't be able to tell you that.
Yeah.
No,
The training budget is £1,000.
I'm raising a
We've drawn
question
it down.
I didn't necessarily expect to be asked, but I think it's, you know, it is be answered tonight, but I think it is relevant because
Sorry, I think I've answered your council.
One
It is
of mine-
£1,000, but
yeah.
we've had some training, so at the
it's 1,000.
overall the budget is 1,000, but we have had a number of trainings in place that we've been
Oh, I
so
see
I don't
what
know
you
the
mean.
live amount.
Yeah, I
So-
wouldn't want to take training away from the
So
staff.
is there a proposal for a course of action on this issue that we...
Oh, sorry.
Yes, the
Well, it was just to say, I've attended 2 or 3 already, and I am booked for probably another 3 or 4. If there are things that are included in it, then that I've already done, it seems a bit silly for me to attend again and convey an extra cost for the council.
So the only thing I would add to that is this is the training that you've been on. There's more on here than there is on the training that you've attended. And currently we only have a small amount of councillors that have been on training, so this would benefit everybody because it'd be at our community centre more accessible.
Only if we can get there down the day.
I think this, in principle, this is a way to broaden the, to make it easier and cheaper, basically, and in-house, so they come here rather than us.
Just looking at the room, that can be nice to get on top.
Can I
Sorry.
ask a question and make a proposal? Is it one session that includes all these, or is it a number of sessions?
It's very mouldable to what we want, so at the moment it's one session,
Right.
but if we wanted to split it over 2 or have 2 sessions, and I can negotiate cost.
Okay, well, I'd like to propose that we agree to go ahead with booking training sessions to be available for all councillors and relevant staff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple.
But you do it. Yeah, relevant staff. I suppose there would be an issue which is probably a personnel matter, not a matter for the whole council to decide about whether the status of it for staff, whether it's, you know, it's an expectation that staff will attend, whether it's mandatory or voluntary, basically, is what I'm saying. But I don't propose that we should discuss that now.
No, I think the proposal assumes that it's on voluntary basis for all councillors and staff.
And staff, yeah.
Can I ask a question, which I don't see the answer to on here? If anyone isn't able to attend, would it be possible to record those and to let them have a copy? That's a question for the trainers.
Can I ask that separately?
Because that would, the likelihood of us getting everybody.
So the proposal is that we adopt this. We've got a second there. Councillor Cook. Show of hands on that. That's everybody. Thank you. Matters requested by councillors. I think in view of the time,
Yes.
Sorry, John,
Go on.
you're in the sentence.
well, I'm going to say I think we've got quite a lot of things to get through still, and I just think, you know, it is 9 o'clock.
Chair, can I just say it's important that councillors are able to bring things up. So if we view their things that were requested as not important, that we might as well not have, you know, these meetings. We've definitely gone on longer than this
I think
on previous
Councillor
occasions.
Maiden is not able to attend, and she wanted to speak on
Well,
this.
that should be left on.
So I
shouldn't
think
it?
we could leave that. We could leave 12 to the next agenda. Receive a proposal from Councillor Harper to organise a council site tour of our assets and responsible areas and decide a course of action.
I don't want to speak about it. It's an old suggestion that came up at a meeting.
This is
I absolutely agree.
I think it's a good idea.
Yes.
So again,
Yes,
the
agreed.
proposal is really that it's just organised.
Yes, agreed.
To review on Councillor Cook's recommendation, the Coronation Living Heritage update provided by We also White Roads Bulletin and decided course of action. Do you speak on that, Councillor Cook?
Yeah.
Briefly?
Yep, that's just a chance to get some free trees for the community orchard.
Yeah.
They're funding, in commemoration of the coronation. So I thought the old Knowles Quarry, we were talking about an orchard. This would be the perfect opportunity to get some nice mature trees paid for. So could we look into an
Yeah,
application?
we've got to do it by the 26th of September.
Yes, we don't have long.
So, yeah.
Did you put it on for to give me the power to do that?
Yeah, yeah,
Explore.
yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
There's village events on Thursday. Is it possible to add it as a later agenda item to village events?
Well, we're all
The
here,
agenda
we're all
item's already
agreed.
gone, so if you're happy for me to explore our options, I only
Yeah.
have to get in by that deadline to
Yeah.
explore,
Yeah.
and then we can take it to the next
We all agree that
Yeah.
Gemma can
committee.
see
Yeah.
that.
Free trees, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Or referral.
Right. To receive a proposal from Councillor S. Stewart to concern Turberry Avenue residents and turnaround action taken regarding the finished state of the road surface by Stewart and hence the lack of adoption by the council. We've already heard from the report from Councillor Carrington on that, the issues she's been dealing with about that. Has anybody got any?
Yeah, we did have an issue with an unmade road a couple of years ago that was brought to me from down Low Ackworth. So what I know from that is that they weren't at that time, and it was during COVID, adopting any roads, but that if a road is to be adopted, it has to be in good order. So strata, I don't know why we're at this point where these are unmade roads. Surely we had an agreement. Councillor Balfour and Councillor Garbett, I know, were the ones who liaised with Strata, so for most of the 4 years. So
Councillor Balfour?
Yeah, I'm just wondering what Susie's proposal, what proposal Susie